Hi folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. I actually made this video once before and I've had trouble with my processing software. So I was down in my shop that's out in the building outside, where I picked up a hammer that sits kind of in a lawnmower shed. So the weather, it's covered from the rain, but you still get humidity, you still get heat. And this thing had weathered badly, but I have restored it. That's the video I lost. So what I did is I went in my toolbox here and found a hammer. And the head of this hammer is quite old, but it's been rehandled. But if you notice, now this is a handle, I don't think it's varnished, but it is slick. And I found a neat way that you can treat your wooden handles on all sorts of equipment, from hand tools to garden tools, especially those that are outside. And it's as inexpensive as it can be. Let me reach behind me and show you what I found over the weekend. The wife and I were doing a little running around this weekend, and we stopped by a farmer's market in town. And farmers markets aren't what they used to be. I told her this was a bunch of yuppies trying to get rich at the prices they were asking for basic produce. But I met a man there who sells honey, and he also sold beeswax. This was I've already cut some wax off of this, but this is a block of beeswax for 12 bucks. And that's enough beeswax to last me for a long time. Beeswax, by the way, can come in different colors and different sheens, different melting points. Just depends on what the bees are using, but I cut some off. And one of the great things that you can do, okay, thought I went off there. One of the great things you can do, take a little piece of wax, small enough to roll around in the palm of my hand, and just heat it up. And as I heat it up, you feel it getting softer. It's just that big. But simply take your wax and rub it on the handle of your tools. Be generous with it. Try to imagine you're coloring with a crayon. As you can see in the video here, I'm not changing the color of the handle. By the way, this works good on kitchen knives too that have a wooden handle. But I am just covering the surface of this handle with wax. Now I'm going to remind you something. Always do the end. If you feel of the end, you'll feel that that's probably the driest area on your handle. But just really work this wax in. If you excuse me, if you get too much, just take your thumb and continue to press on it, because your thumb is going to add not only pressure but heat. I'm doing the top of the handle now, so I'm kind of bracing it against the tool table down here. All right, and the time I've done that, I'm going to heat my wax back up so that it goes back into a solid piece. You'll break it apart doing this. I have taken a handle, and let's do one other thing. Let's take an old shop rag, and you'll need a good grip on it because it's going to stick to the wax. Any pieces of wax that have kind of not taken to the wood, to the handle, I can just pull them off that way. And now I have a handle that is sticky in a very good kind of way. It's the kind of sticky that gives you a grip. It's the kind of sticky that allows you to retain control of the tool, whether you're sweating and your hands are wet or even out in the rain. It also seals the wood very nicely. Now there's one other thing I like to do. I have I call it my pocket blowtorch. It's just a lighter, but it's a lighter that you can adjust. That's the lock. Where is my adjust? There it is. You can adjust for a pretty good flame, and I just run this over it very lightly. When the light is just right, and it is at the angle I'm doing this, I can see the wax go shiny. It almost liquefies, and I'm going to give it a good dose down here on the bottom where I put more wax. What that does is allow my wax to run into the pores of the material. This is also a great fix if you've got some small areas that have been nicked and you're in danger of some splinters. You can put that on your wood and it makes the handle, it just turns it around wonderfully. A nice grip there. It changes things wonderfully. And it will preserve your handle. One thing I didn't do, here on the head, you also need some wax here, because one of the things that happens when you rehandle, or even on the original handle, but a tool up here where the wedge is, as it dries, you're going to get a change in the grip of that wedge. And I'm just mashing and working to get that wax down in there. And then again, I'm going to heat it up just a little bit, heat it so it goes down in there. I'm preserving the moisture content of my handle so that I have less warping and especially less cracking. I started to say crapping, but no, it's cracking. So for you can buy beeswax on eBay. Be very aware when you buy it, the weight. There's some that I looked at just a few minutes ago that was like $8 and something, maybe $8.99. And it was 5 ounces. So I really liked getting a nice full block for $12. And I like the option of having multiple colors there, so that olive color is going to be right interesting. So if you have tools around, your garden rakes, your shovels, your hose, your if you have an axe or a splitting maul that has a wood handle, anything like that, put some wax on it. If you don't have wax, another thing that is very good to do on a yearly basis is to put some linseed oil. So your shop should always have some linseed oil. But this handle had been oiled months ago, and the oil had really soaked in, and the handle was really light. So putting the wax on there is a really nice thing, especially when you're in and out of the weather as much as I am. And I'm not the best with my tools, I guess, so every now and then I overswing and I get a nick. Filling that nick up with wax is a nice thing as well. So that's a nice trick for your shop, and hope that you'll subscribe to our channel. Leave us a like if you would, and if you have recommendations for other tricks, just give me a call at Bald Guy. You can reach me on our Facebook page. It's Bald Guy Basics. I am the Bald Guy, hoping you're having a good day.